toxic masculinity.
Let's do it.
Democrat judge arrested for child pornography. What a surprise.
Yeah, what a surprise. I'll tell you what, I really didn't want to cover this story, but
Well, there is recently so many news about child
yeah.
pornography. First one, yesterday I heard that Russia is gonna ban Twitter in Russia if they won't remove children pornography from there. You remember there was like couple moments when Twitter wouldn't
Yeah.
remove some child
Twitter's so weird. It's like you can't say the election was stolen, but you can post child pornography. Like,
Yeah.
the priorities of the left are all
And
messed
the
up.
Demi Lovato just said that she was raped at age 15 working for Disney,
Yeah.
and actor wasn't fired.
Oh, fascinating.
It's like,
Okay, by another actor then.
Hmm?
By another actor. She was raped by another actor.
yeah, somebody who was on Netflix also.
Well, let's go ahead and read some of this article. So, Democrat Wisconsin judge arrested with 7 child pornography counts. Now, this is the weird thing. So that what I think is actually the Federalist posted this article. I think actually the main story here is kind of buried at the end. What do they say? Burying the headline? Burying the anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Down there here at the bottom, it says where is it? Okay. All right. The guy lives with his husband and 2 kids. So he's a gay man who has either had kids with a woman, or his husband's had kids with a woman, or he's adopted 2 kids, but somehow he's got children. And he's posting these pictures of I don't know. This is messed up. All right. A 38-year-old Democratic judge was arrested on Tuesday in Wisconsin for 7 felony counts of possessing child pornography, according to the state's Justice Department. Brett Bloom, or Blom or something. I don't really. Blom? I don't know. Blom doesn't sound right. That just sounds vulgar. Let's see. Milwaukee County Circuit Court judge is facing a Class D felonies after a thorough investigation was performed by authorities in both Minnesota and Wisconsin. Blom used the Kick Messenger app to store the content, which authorities tracked between the months of October and November. The judge was apprehended in Dane County on Friday. A division of criminal investigation unit. Okay. Filed a 44-page search warrant. Investigators learned that Blom uploaded 27 total child pornographic videos and images to Kick using the pseudonym Dobemaster BB. Dommaster BB. I guess that's dominant. With some of this weird sex stuff. Philip, you know about this stuff. Why aren't you on this show? Let's see here. To conceal his identity, 2 of these files were being stored in a government building in Milwaukee County. Anyway, so then they go on to talk about how he's arrested and all this kind of stuff. But this is the part that got really weird for me. I mean, it's all obviously very, very weird. But I thought this was kind of funny. Let's see here. Blom previously served as head of the Cream City Foundation, an organization that gives grant funding to Milwaukee LGBTQ groups, as well as directed a gift-giving foundation at the Wisconsin AIDS Research Center. He lives with his husband and 2 kids. Now, I hate to make jokes when we're talking about child pornography because this is pretty gross stuff, but the Cream City Foundation is an LGBTQ group. That is horrible. I mean, of all the names of your organization, now I assume that the reason it's called Cream City, it just sounds so vulgar, is that it's from Milwaukee, right? And Milwaukee is known for their dairy products. But like in the modern era, with all the sick, twisted stuff going on, they really got to change the name of that organization. The Cream City Foundation. It's almost like they're trying to make it funny. It's almost like they're trying to make it a joke. But anyway, all this is very disturbing. But the reason I decided to go ahead and talk about this story, even though it was an incredibly disturbing story, is that in like last year there started to circulate on Twitter and around the internet this massive list. This is from News Punch. I have no idea if this is a valid website or a news site. This is the first thing I found when I looked it up. But yeah, this is the list. I've seen this all over the internet. Massive list of Democrats involved in sex crimes against children goes viral. An enormous list of Democrats, including elected officials who have been involved in sex crimes against children, has gone viral on the internet as America continues to wake up to the pedophile epidemic sweeping the nation. 800,000 children a year in the United States go missing, blah, 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 blah. They're talking about satanic and ritual abuse. So the reason I don't tend to talk about this kind of stuff is it kind of feeds into the Q stuff about Satanism and that all Democrats are pedophiles, and I just don't believe any of that. Like I don't believe that like Nancy Pelosi has anything to do with pedophilia. But there's so many Democrats that are women, and women don't tend to be sexual abusers so much. So I just don't.
Well, what about Ghislaine Maxwell sending this teenage girls
Yeah,
to?
I said don't tend to be. I didn't say it's impossible. I mean,
Okay.
Certainly there are instances, but like, I don't know how accurate this list is, or if this is but like, look how long this list is. It's crazy. And this is the list I think that I've seen going around the internet. And I mean, if you just look at like the first few things, like Democrat aide to Senator Barbara Boxer, I mean, that's pretty, that's a pretty high up, pretty important job. And to be an aide to Barbara Boxer, she's a very important person. Obviously Epstein, Anthony Weiner, we know that. Harvey Weinstein, we know that. Yeah, we know about those. But there are Democrat governor of Oregon, Neil Goldschmidt, after being caught by a newspaper. I didn't actually know that about Neil Goldschmidt. I met him. I met him when I was a kid. Yeah, we went on a school trip to the governor's, the Capitol building in Salem, Oregon.
Ashley says they should call it the Lavender Club.
The Lavender Club. That's a reference from yesterday, because there's in what is it? Columbia University is having multiple graduations based on different demographic groupings. So if you're black, or if you're Latino, or if you're Asian, or if you're gay, they have different graduations for everybody. And the gay one is called the Lavender Ceremony. Which I just thought
Daniel
was
is giving us money again.
Oh no, Daniel, stop! Please, just write our name in there. We'll see you. What does he got to say? Let's hear it.
Tim was having a religious discussion with Ian, and Jack tonight. It started going off the rails because none of them are religious. Here is money! Exclamation mark.
I love that guy. Hold on, I can't see it on mine. Mine's loading all the previous comments. You're gonna have to give me a second. All right, this is taking too long. Yeah.
There is an interesting article pop up on my newsfeed on my phone.
Hit me.
Citigroup, Wells Fargo, Bank of America urge shareholders to vote against racial equity audits. Bank says they're already doing enough to address equity issues.
That makes a lot of sense. Okay, so Daniel says Tim was having a religious discussion with Ian and Jack tonight. It started going off the rails because none of them are religious. Here's money. Yeah, it's always a bit cringy when atheists talk about religion, because it's almost always just, religion is stupid and religious people are stupid.
Well, my atheist friend says that religious people always like starting wars and stuff for the name of religion.
The atheists always say this.
Yeah, that's what she said. That's what she said.
That's what she said. Well, they always say that, but the most vicious countries always tend to be atheist countries. Like I think China's an atheist country, officially. USSR was an atheist country. And your grandmother isn't that right? Your grandmother was like a quietly religious during the No,
Mm,
it might have been one
well,
of my exes.
I didn't ask her about that.
You haven't asked her
I
about it?
mean,
I thought she was somewhat religious.
she is religious
Hmm.
now, I would say.
A lot of the people who were religious during the USSR times, they had to do it. They had to do it underground. They had to be religious. They had to do,
Yeah.
perform their religious ceremonies and go to church and all that kind of stuff, like in basements and secretly. There was actually a family that moved out to Siberia, and they were lost for like decades, and then some of the kids were born completely outside civilization, and they lived there for years and years and years. And then I think the wife had died, and then some Soviet scientists found them many, many years later, um, and they tried to reintroduce them back into society. And the father said that the one thing that he missed the most was salt, because he couldn't get salt out where he lived.
Mm,
And they all ended up dying. I think they all ended up dying because they couldn't. There's something about bringing them back into civilization didn't work. They were fascinated by TV apparently, and they all prayed after watching it because they thought maybe it was evil. But yeah. Anyway, atheism does some messed up things. Anyway, all right. So shall we move on to the next story?
yeah. Governor DeSantis rejects call to return relief funds.
Yeah, so this isn't our normal kind of story where we just make fun of leftists and laugh at them and talk about the ridiculous state of the world today. This is actually kind of a nuanced story. So, Toxic Masculinity, weekdays 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific.